As we've seen before, the creative brief, I always refer to it as probably the most important planning document when it comes to marketing communications, specifically when you're planning your message and how you would like to appeal to your consumers. So we've looked at the creative brief in some detail in some previous videos and some other discussions. Let's go back and kind of give ourselves a little bit of rundown in terms of what's included in the creative brief. So we know that we start with an objective, which is what we want to achieve. We also need to include the target audience, of course, because we need to know who it is that we're trying to talk to. Then there's this thing called the message theme or the key theme. I also like to use the word promise when it comes to this portion of the creative brief. So what is it that we promise our product or our brand will do for the consumer? Now, this sounds a lot like our positioning strategy, so it does kind of bring us back into some more formal strategic decisions that we make in terms of marketing communications. The key theme is always followed by the support. There has to be some sort of supporting evidence that gives us an idea of why that message theme is true or why we can make the promise that we're making. And then finally, we have a section called the constraints. And now, this is really just mandatories. And I think that that's maybe even a better term for us to use here. Mandatory things that we must include in our ad. These are typically things that the client has told us that they need to see. So things like logos, things like URLs. At this point, we'll see things like Facebook, hashtags, things like that the brand really wants to see in the advertisements that we're creating. So I also have mentioned this thing called the target market incentive statement. Now, one of the things that we really love in marketing generally, marketing communications specifically, is let's get to the point, right? So the target market incentive statement is a brief of the brief. Now, the creative brief is meant to be brief. It's meant to be short. You saw it. We had 5 sections in our creative brief. These are not long documents, but still sometimes we can get even more concise and get something encapsulated into just one sentence. And that's what the target market incentive statement is. So you can see here that it's a bunch of fill in the blanks. So what we're trying to do is we're trying to, in one sentence, collapse down who our prospects are, what our brand name is, what product category that brand is in, the key benefit the brand will deliver, and the support or reason why we can deliver that key benefit. So it's kind of like a fill-in-the-blank statement, and it's probably easiest for us to see the target market incentive statement through an example. So for example, to experiencers, H&M is the fashion brand that lets you express yourself because our styles are affordable and allow you to mix and match. So here we have experiencers, and you might remember this as a throwback to our VALS 2 discussion. That's our category that is motivated by self-expression. H&M here is the brand name that we're trying to communicate and to advertise. And the key benefit of letting you express yourself. That's something that I think the H&M brand does quite well. And then the support is the styles are affordable. You could buy many different styles and then you can mix and match those styles. So it allows you to be creative and allows you to show who you are. So just to kind of go back, the brief of a brief, that's what the target market incentive statement is. To prospects, our brand is the product category that provides a key benefit because of some support. So to experiencers, H&M is the fashion brand that lets you express yourself because our styles are affordable and allow you to mix and match. Now you can create target market incentive statements for your brands and for specific marketing communication pieces. And I think that you should, because I think that in one little sentence, you can communicate to your creative team really concisely, very clearly, what it is that you're hoping to achieve through this communication piece.